comic book school, so of course everybody knew him. But just in general, I think he's one of those heroes that people do recognize. Like if you see that ring, that sign, the symbol, and a green shirt with the symbol, people usually know. So I don't know how to answer your question, because I don't know where he ranks on the DC level, but just having a movie and having an animated feature of yourself and stuff does usually show that you are popular enough to get that opportunity. So I would think that he is probably top 20 recognizable characters within the DC universe, and I don't know how many they have, but it's definitely in the thousands. So I would say that's up there.
See, that's where I think I would disagree. I think that when it comes down to it, yes, you mentioned he is very highly favorable when it comes to the comics, but going from that comic book adaptation to the movie deal, they have not found a way to do him, complete justice to where he's at the high levels of a Batman or a Superman or even a Wonder Woman coming out in June. Like I said, yes, he's well known and they know about him, but again, I mean, are people going to put him probably on their top 5 list? More than likely not, because there really isn't too much I think that really stands out. I mean, my friend Josh, he actually mentioned this, that when he came down to the Green Lantern, he is kind of like a polar opposite and kind of, I wouldn't say like a copy of this hero, but basically almost like their version of what it's like for Doctor Strange. And you kind of look at, the movies in comparison, they basically have the same kind of feel about them, is that, they don't trust on, like their strength or stuff like that. They've more focused on, matter and everything like that. But somehow Doctor Strange was able to pull out, immensely better than Green Lantern is. Now, I'm trying not to confuse you. I see the look on your face as we're talking on Skype, and, you have that kind of look of a little bit confusion, but kind of deep thoughts, I'm hoping. But yeah, the point.
You finish.
But, it's just one of those things where it's like, they have the opportunity to make Green Lantern into something more, but they just haven't found that way. And again, 2 movies and already they're already like 2 thumbs down, really. I mean, for them not even to make it a 75%, that I go by what I've done in grade school, where if it's 69 or lower, that's usually pretty bad. I usually consider that like a fail. So the fact that they've had like 2 failing movies, in my opinion, really kind of makes me think, that maybe he should just stick to being in the comics, because I think that's the only way that he's going to continue his popularity. But I don't know. Your thoughts?
I first have to say I would not compare. Again, that's your opinion on him and Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange is a magician. He uses magic, and Green Lantern has nothing to do with magic. So I wouldn't compare those 2 superheroes. I don't even know if what you said really compares them at all. I don't know who would compare to Green Lantern in the Marvel Universe. Now that I'm really thinking of it, I was trying to think of somebody, and I think that's one of the DC superheroes that was not transformed into the Marvel Universe. Because most of the time they do kind of steal off of one another. There is a spider-like character in DC that went off of Spider-Man since Spider-Man was so popular. I mean, they're always in competition. So they always are trying to, maybe my character will go up before this character. Oh, maybe, because I know they did similar characters. People are saying Iron Fist, that's coming out in 2 days, this Friday, sounds very similar to Arrow, and that is because the 2 characters are semi-similar. They're both, rich. They were gone from their family's home for a long time, came back with some sort of special powers, special abilities. Those 2 I can see being comparisons, but and because DC and Marvel always compete, they're going to have that. But like I said, I cannot think of a superhero that Marvel tried to compete with, and that almost makes it for me like dang, like Green Lantern really represents DC well. He is that galactic policing force, and I just think it's so cool. His power is amazing. His power is super cool. I don't think anyone and everyone could be a Green Lantern person because, like you said, the concentration just isn't there for some people. And I kind of forget what you were asking me at first. After I thought of after the Doctor Strange comment, I just kind of was like, "What is going on?" I think we were talking about popularity, but in general, I don't think you can choose what the fans of Green Lantern are going to rank Green Lantern at. So for me, that's kind of a weird question. It's a weird way to judge a superhero is by their popularity. I think you should just judge them by their power and their own ability, and that's how you can tell, like, hey, does this guy deserve the title of hero? And I mean, with Hal Jordan and I'm saying most because there are always bad eggs, of the Green Lantern Corps, 110% deserves that hero title.
Okay, and while you were talking, no disrespect to you, I was actually trying to look at the comment that my friend Josh made about the whole Doctor Strange thing, and now I realized what he was saying was when I was watching the Green Lantern, one of his first comments was, "This movie is a perfect parallel to Marvel's Doctor Strange. With proper editing, better script writing, and actors given some actual direction, it could have been a winner." Kind of one of those things what I was talking about.
So you're talking about the movies could have been similar,
right?
But not the superheroes,
right?
Okay, because the superheroes have like nothing in common.
Right.
One was a brain surgeon. One is in the Air Force. One controls the unyielding power of willpower, and one is a magician.
One is a genius. The other is insane. Sorry, I had to make that joke when you were basically saying one is this, one is this. It's like, oh, one, I got to make a Pinky in the Brain reference right there. Come on.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think if I had anything else. Honestly, I think I've made all the cases that I can. All honesty, even before people even give their opinions about this, I already feel like I lost. You definitely brought on a really good case, and it's just one of those things where I thought I knew Green Lantern as it was, but you really brought up some really interesting facts, and I will say that, this is, again, one of those deals where I thought, I have a good case, I have good evidence, I got this, and then you bring up some counter evidence, and it's just like, okay, fair enough. This must have been how you felt when we did the Marvel versus DC deal, because I remember
that
there were just so...
You're kind of right there.
Yeah.
I can't really say anything. But no, I think what this conversation or argument or versus, whatever you want to call it, is a prime example of maybe people should really look into the heroes that they see on the screen, Not all of the heroes are represented perfectly on how they were created in the comic book world. So this could be a good, lesson learned is that maybe if you are really interested in a superhero and you just know of them because you saw a trailer or you saw something, you should really look into the comics first and kind of really learn about the character, learn why they're even getting this opportunity to make a multi-million-dollar film. The reason they are given that opportunity, and not saying that every superhero movie wins, because obviously they don't. But the reason that superheroes are chosen from Warner Brothers, DC, and from Disney, Marvel, is because these characters have lasted throughout decades. Like, this guy was created in 1959. Like, that's insane that a character created at that time during, warring times, and I think we were about to go into, like, Vietnam and Korea maybe a little bit, but just after the World War II era, I mean, they created these people to try to give people an escape and a guardian a police of the entire galaxy, which is what the Green Lantern is just fantastical, I like to call it. Fantastical is my new word for being fantasy and amazing. It's hard to believe, and it's hard to argue logically, of course. You can't argue anything that a comic book creator decides logically, because what the hell is kryptonite? I freaking don't know. It's made up. It's just cool for me to be able to like argue the facts of the comic book creator of Green Lantern and Hal Jordan being the first one. I'm glad I got to do that, because I do think if you didn't know who Green Lantern is, like yourself, you would kind of think he did suck because of the movie, and that stinks. That's not fair. That's not fair to the creator of this character. Like, Hollywood, you screwed this character, and I want a redemption video. I want a new movie. I want a new movie of Hal Jordan or John or any of the any of the world, the Earth's Green Lantern. I would love to see a new movie, a reboot, and I think people are really calling for the black one, John something. Oh, I suck. I'm sorry, guys. I don't remember what his last name was, but he was in the main cartoon of the Justice League, the Black Green Lantern. They're really calling for him to have his own movie and stuff. One, promote the diversity of the comic book world, and then two, just give the Green Lantern another chance, because he is amazing and his powers are incredible, and he can be an awesome superhero. And just sickens me that movie was just really bad. It wasn't based off of the comics very well.
Yeah, I can see your point there. So that has been the debate for Green Lantern, superhero or superzero, and I will say this, that thank you guys so much for your input, everybody from, Amanda Elise, for AJ Jensen, my co-host and friend on Elite Ringside Network, as well as Rosalita. Thank you guys so much for your input on the Green Lantern deal. Definitely appreciate it, and, we do this again. Hopefully we get more of your input on there. So we're going to wrap it up by doing a lot of promoting like crazy. Holy cow. I guess we'll start with you, VicTori Belle. Do you have any events that are coming up, conventions for the month of March going into April?
Yeah, this coming weekend, so Sunday, March 19th, is Madison's Mighty Con. So that'll be at the Monona Terrace. It'll be just a one-day event. It's just Sunday. Pretty sure it goes till 5. So if you guys can come out to Madison, or if you're in the Madison area, Madison, Wisconsin, of course, please come out. MightyCon's always really fun. It's a smaller convention, meaning it's cheaper. You get a much more personal look at the vendors and a much more personal conversation with the famous people there, the cosplayers there, and all the vendors there. So it'll be really fun. You guys should come out to MightyCon. I know the weekend after that is in Rosemont, Heroes and Villains Fan Fest. So that's always really cool. I don't know if I'll be there, but I do know that everybody really wants to go to Fan Fest. I know Arrow's going to be there. I think Michael Rooker is going to be there from Guardians of the Galaxy and Walking Dead and all those awesome shows. I know he just canceled for C2E2 in Chicago, so if you were supposed to go see him at C2E2, maybe you could get a chance to see him at Heroes and Villains. I'm not sure if he canceled that already, though, too. I know he's filming Infinity War, so it's like, I can't blame him for canceling. I'm okay with you canceling. Please make that movie awesome. Please be in that movie. And yeah, I think that's about it. April turns into the busiest month ever for me. So I'm going to be at a ton of conventions. Wizard World St. Louis is the 6th, 7th, and 8th, or 7th, 8th, and 9th that weekend. Then we have Indiana Comic-Con the weekend after that, which is Easter weekend. And I'm going to a comic convention. Shows where my morals lie. Then C2E2, which Age of Geeks is going to be there, the huge cosplay group, and I most likely will be there. I'm still looking for a way, but